Hey, what's up guys? It's Rio here, back with another fitness related video. In this video, I just wanted to talk about the upcoming powerlifting meet that I just signed up for. So I signed up to compete at a powerlifting meet here. It's the first one I've ever done here in Thailand. Actually, it's the first one I've ever done ever. So I'm super excited about it. So I thought some of you might be interested, and I want to share with you about some of my prep for the competition, how a competition actually goes, and information about the upcoming meet here. So the upcoming meet is held on December 6th, and the weigh-ins will take place the day before actually. So right now I'm at about 88 kilograms, and the weight classes are like 74 kilograms, 83 kilograms, 95, and 105 I think, and then 120, something like that. I'm not sure, but the two weight classes that I could choose to be in are either the under 83 kilogram or under 95. And since, well, now I'm at 88. Before, when I first decided to sign up for the competition, I was like 92 or 93 kilograms. And I was wanting to cut weight anyways, so I decided I would actually drop weight. So pretty much anyone who I talked to at my gym that has competed, or that I've found online, YouTube videos that I tried to learn a little bit from about powerlifting, say for your first meet, you shouldn't cut weight, but I kind of liked the extra challenge, and since I was kind of cutting weight already anyways, then I decided why not? Like, I've cut weight a couple times before just to do like a mock meet for my own self. Back when I deadlifted triple my body weight, I cut some water weight as well as fat weight, and also when I bench double my body weight a couple different times, I cut weight as well. So I have a little bit of experience with it, but I've never competed in an actual powerlifting event where there's, judges, where you're competing against others. You're not doing it on your own time. That's a big difference. And it's all day long. You're doing bench, squat, and deadlift. I'm always training where I do a bench day, a squat day, a deadlift day. And so this will definitely be a lot different than that. So it's definitely something that I'm going to have to try to adapt to. So for any of you guys, if you've never competed before, I would also probably recommend you don't cut weight, because it's just an added thing to try to keep track of, and it might mess up your concentration, and you're going to lose a little bit of strength probably by losing weight. So probably best not for most people to do. But personally for myself, I've already benched double my body weight, deadlifted like triple my body weight, and I would be really happy if I cut to this weight, which is like the lowest I've been ever in like 3 or 4 years. If I can just bench double my body weight at that low body weight, which should be easier, deadlift triple my body weight, and then the squat, I haven't been doing a whole lot. So if I just do a decent amount on my squat, and I think so long as I get all my lifts, I'll be really happy with the results of the meet. And the other thing about cutting weight for me with this event is it makes it that much more serious to me that I'm actually cutting weight to get to this low body weight and be able to lift these amounts of weights. To me, it just helps a little bit with that mental aspect as well. Anyways, it's at my gym, so it actually makes it really nice for me. It's comfortable, an atmosphere that I'm used to, so that should be great. So like I've said before, I've been lifting for 17 or 18 years now, and I've reached a lot of my goals for powerlifting especially, even though there's many other aspects of fitness and strength training, calisthenics that I want to reach yet. But with powerlifting, I've kind of gotten there, but actually making it official and competing and having, meet PRs and new records like that to actually compete legitimately with other competitors should be really cool to do. So I'm super excited about it. And like I briefly mentioned before, it's going to be a lot different than just testing your own 1 rep max in the gym on your own time, when you feel the best, because this will not be on my own schedule. I don't know for sure how it will all go. I think you just kind of have to wait your turn. I think they start with the lightest weight class and then on up until the heavyweights. So I'll be somewhere in the middle, but I don't know exactly what order or how that will be exactly. And I'm sure the different times you just don't really know, so you have to just kind of be ready. So yeah, it should be really interesting, but much different. So I'm looking forward to it. So some of you might have questions on like the rules of actual powerlifting, and it's different than when you just train in the gym. You kind of do, like, for example, the bench, you do like a touch and go. You don't pause or anything like that. So first of all, I believe it starts with the squat, and then it goes to the bench, and then the deadlift. And I think everybody cycles through the squat, and then they do the bench, and then the deadlift, like that. And it'll probably end up lasting pretty much all day, my guess. I don't know for sure. But yeah, how it works is we all get 3 attempts. So I imagine you warm up somewhere before the lifts, and then you get 3 separate attempts. And if it's like what I've heard, then there will be like 3 judges, and you have to get at least 2 of the judges have to give you a thumbs up for the lift, or white lights or thumbs up or whatever they have there for the lift to actually pass. And on top of that, like for example, the bench press, they give you, so you unrack the weight or have someone help you unrack the weight, and once the weight is motionless, then you bring it down. And once the weight is also motionless on your chest, then you push back up. So depending on the judges, it can vary a little bit, but you have to listen to their commands. And then one big problem for me that I hope I don't have in the competition is when I get it back up to the top, I just rack it right away. It's kind of just natural habit to me because I've lifted the weight, right? But they need to give you that command to rack. So there's some of those commands that you need to do and think about while you're doing the lift. So for my competition exactly, the weigh-in will be the day before. So I will get basically 24 hours to rehydrate and feel 100% again. So it shouldn't be too hard. I've done weight cuts, water weight cuts that I only waited about 2 hours before, and I felt good within 2 hours. And I would cut like 2 or 3 kilograms. So if I cut about that much or a little bit more, I should be definitely 100% is at least what I'm hoping for. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that, but there's a lot on the line. Like I'm actually doing it not just my own self against myself, but at a competition. So I do want to really make sure I can hit the weight, because if I don't, then I would be competing at a very low body weight in the next weight class up, and that's not ideal at all. So yeah, I believe there's 3 judges for this event. I'm not sure about that, but I imagine so if it's like every other competition that I've heard about. And in this competition too, you can use knee sleeves for squats, not knee wraps, just knee sleeves. And for bench press, you can't use elbow sleeves, but you can use wrist wraps and a belt. You can use a belt on bench, squat, and deadlift, of course. And then on deadlift, they actually have a deadlift bar. So I haven't trained on that a lot, but I'm starting to train on it. So I'm getting used to that. And you can actually lift a little bit more weight, and it feels really good, at least for me. So that's one thing specific to this meet. There's lots of meets that use a deadlift bar, but there's also lots of meets or lots of powerlifting federations that use like a stiff bar, like kind of similar to the bars that you might have in your gym, if it's just like a fitness center or something like that. So specifically about what I'm doing for the meet, how I'm training, and what I'm doing with cutting weight and stuff. So with eating, I'm only eating like twice a day. I'm not counting my calories. I used to count my calories for years and years, but I kind of know what macros my food that I eat has. So I'm just eating really healthy, high protein, lots of meat, lots of vegetables, not too many carbs, more complex carbohydrates. And I eat 2 big meals, and it kind of tricks my body into feeling like I've had enough food twice a day. But overall, the amount of calories is still quite little, like probably between 1,500 and 2,000 calories. So I'm actually on quite a big caloric deficit, and my training is affected by it, definitely. It's quite hard to recover, but not too hard. And I'm basically just training the bench, squat, and deadlift, and very little accessory work, and like no bodybuilding really. Not hardly any calisthenics, just really focused on bench, squat, and deadlift, and on very low reps, because obviously at the meet you do your 1 rep max attempt. And so with deadlift especially, I'm only doing singles. Bench press, I do a little bit more reps, between 1 to 3, and for squat also about 2 or 3 reps per set. So as far as supplements that I'm taking right now, I'm just taking a pre-workout. It's like Muscle Tech, something Peak Series or something. It's a good quality pre-workout, like caffeine and citrulline and some other ingredients that I can't remember right now. and yeah, good quality whey isolate. And other than that, I just bought a yohimbine weight loss supplement, and I've never tried it before. I've heard good things about it, I've heard bad things about it. So far, it's proven to be really powerful. As far as the feelings on it, I'll report more on that later. But apparently it's actually supposed to target your stubborn fat areas, which the jury is still kind of out on that. I thought that wasn't possible, but maybe it is actually with yohimbine. With actually training, I don't believe it's really possible. I think that's a big fitness myth, that you can really target stubborn fat areas. You really just have to train, exercise, and diet to lose the fat, and you'll eventually lose it on those stubborn fat areas. For me, it's my lower back. Now, I also bought some herbal water cutting pills. I can't remember the name of it, and I haven't received them yet, and I only start to cut the water the last few days before the competition. A lot of my information that I got is actually from a website called Powerlifting to Win, so I'll leave that link in the description below. But what it instructs you to do, and what I've done a couple other times in my own little mock meets, is that the week before the competition, about 1 week out, 5 or 6 days before, you start cutting your carbohydrates, because carbohydrates hold on to water. So about 5 or 6 days before the weigh-in day, I will start to cut carbohydrates. And cutting carbohydrates will help you lose some body weight. And then I'll also ramp up the sodium for a couple days, which helps your body hold on to more water. And with that, I'll also double my water intake up to like 2 or 3 gallons per day. And so your body gets used to consuming that extra water and holding on to it, and then suddenly you drop the water way down and the sodium way down, and your body continues to expel the water at an accelerated rate while you're not intaking that water. So for a brief period, you'll be quite dehydrated, and that's when I'm going to weigh in on that day. And then one of the last things that I'm going to do to cut weight is just start to eat liquid meals only, so that you can actually digest and get rid of all the food that you're actually having. So there's no food in your gut when you weigh in. And possibly, if I need to, I will also go to a sauna or do some kind of low intensity exercise to sweat off the last little bit of weight. Hopefully I don't have to do that, but we'll see what happens. Now, I'll make a video after the competition to let you guys know how it went, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.